Hello and welcome to glennzb TV, the show that puts glennzb into your virtual headset. I'm bringing New Zealand to the world, and the world to New Zealand. And geez, it's a funny old time for me at the moment here at News Talk ZB, working on the Mike Hosking breakfast, because basically half our show was decimated this morning by live sports commentary. And I mean, it's all right, I suppose. I mean, there's worse things I could do for a job than come into work and watch sport for an hour and a half. The only problem is, of course, it's not really sport, is it? Playing around in cycle-powered boats. So yeah, I have to watch a sport that I don't really like for an hour and a half, instead of doing the job which I normally do. I'm conflicted about it. It'd be different if it was watching the Chiefs beat the Hurricanes all morning long or something like that. And then, so they do these races, and it turns out Team New Zealand did not predict the weather very well. Not for the first race anyway. They had the wrong size. They don't really have sails anymore, these guys. They have foils, apparently. And they had little ones and the other guys had big ones, or vice versa, and that meant that they couldn't go as fast as the other guys. And again, I just sort of say, remember the days when they had an actual boat and they put the sails, they had a whole lot of sails in the boat and they could change them, and if it got a bit windier or it wasn't as windy, that doesn't seem to... It's so complicated. When is it going to be over? When? Meanwhile, in other news, it turns out that DUP is now in charge of Britain. Because some unholy alliance has had to be formed between the Conservative Party and DUP. And DUP apparently are a bunch of Irish people who aren't really into gay people or women's rights, or they're a bit sort of pro-lifey, that kind of thing. And the Tories have gone, well, we don't mind about that so much. But you do have to wonder how many people knew that they were voting for DUP when they didn't vote Conservative. Stupid name, isn't it, too, DUP? I mean, I know it's nobody says DUP, they just say DUP, but every time I look at it, I see DUP, and, well, it's odd. But back here, the news is even more amazinger. Back here, I've got two amazinger stories, and I don't know which one is the most amazingest. I mean, we've got so many people wanting to walk and cycle through the long-awaited Waterview Tunnel in Auckland that the tickets to do this have already been snapped up and gone. So, I mean, that's amazing, and that, somebody would even think to sell tickets to walking through a tunnel that you're going to be able to drive through every day. And B, that so many people want to do that they're all gone. I don't know what that's about. Personally, I think if those sorts of people, I think they should wait till they're all in it, close off both ends and gas them, but anyway. Meanwhile, in Rotorua, they found the pink and white terraces, or researchers think that they have, again. Several times throughout history, they think they've found them and then they've turned out not to have found them, and they want to dig them up. So basically, there's hills in them there hills. They found some rock underneath the rock, which they'd like to expose so you can see the slightly different coloured rock to the rock that's already... This, I tell you what, man, New Zealand, the news is amazing. I am glennzb. I don't know what's happening, but thank you for having me in your virtual headset anyway.